Happy Saturday. Thanks for joining in on the 70s Trivia Challenge. This is going to be a 3-week saga. It has 60 questions each week. And put on your thinking caps and let's get this party started. I hope everyone's having a good day or night wherever you're viewing from. I'll give everyone a chance to come in. Stop in and say hi. Don't be shy. Now the rules of the game, I'm going to ask a couple of categories. The orange is TV. The yellow is movies. This is all from the 70s, guys. The pink is technology. And the blue is music. All right. So we're going to start out with, you guys want to start out with movies or music? I think music. So we'll start out with music first. I'll ask one question. You have 20 seconds to answer. And then we'll save the technology for later, for the last. And then we'll do the television. Your guess is as good as mine. I don't know the answers to any of the questions. So let's get started. And the yellow is movies. So what we're going to do the TV first. Oh, we're doing the music first, excuse me. Okay, the blue is the music. Orange is TV, and the yellow is movies. And then technology. I probably just repeated myself 10,000 times. Okay, hi Obi-Wan. How you doing? Are you ready? All right, first question. I'm going to answer it. I'm going to ask the question twice, and then I am going to give you 20 seconds to answer it. And let's get going. I'm excited. So how is everyone doing today? How you doing, Obi-Wan? I like your little emojis. Are you ready to go? All right, let me get this. As much as I prepare, I'm not prepared. Hi, everyone in the room. Stop in and say hi. Play along. Okay, we'll do the movie. We'll do the music first. Then we'll do the television, the orange deck. The yellow deck is movies. We'll do that third, and we'll save technology for last. Hello, everyone in the room. Stop in and say hi. Come on in and play. So the first question in the music category, Family Affair was a 1971 hit for which band, several of whose members were from the same family? Family Affair was a 1971 hit for which band, several of whose members were from the same family? And it starts now. Hello, how you doing? Hi, welcome in. Anyone? We have 11 seconds. And we have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Dee. And the answer is Sly and the Family Stone. Sly and the Family Stone. Okay, nice warm up. This is the music. This is the category music. Which Birmingham-based band featured Ozzy Osbourne, who took the nickname the Prince of Darkness, as its lead singer? Let's do that again. Which Birmingham-based band featured Ozzy Osbourne, who took the nickname the Prince of Darkness, as the lead singer? 20 seconds, everyone. 16 seconds. Any guess? Anyone guessing? Come on, play along. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you. Please like up the stream. Share the stream with your friends and family so they can play along. And we have 3. Anyone? And the answer is Black Sabbath. Black Sabbath is the answer. All right, let me make it a little easier. I'll just hold one. All right. Hi, Eddie. How everyone. Nice to see you. Welcome in. Welcome in. I hope you're having a good day. Okay, onward. Please like up the stream, Eddie. Nice to see you. Third question. Which Bee Gees song spent 8 consecutive weeks at the top of the Billboard Top 100 in the 1970s? I'm reading it like it is. Earning in its decades. Let's start over. Which Bee Gees song spent 8 consecutive weeks at the top of the Billboard Top 100 in the 1970s, earning it the decade's joint second place record for most consecutive weeks at the top? 20 seconds. Did everybody hear that question? I miss you too, Eddie. Nice to see you. Thank you for joining in. Hey, Bob. Keyboard ain't working. I'm watching. Okay, that's fine. Your keyboard's not working? Anyone playing? Okay, that's okay. Welcome in. Thank you, everyone. And the answer is Night Fever. Night Fever is the answer. All right, guys. What was the title of Elton John's duet with Kiki D that became his first #1 in the UK and the first to top both the UK and the US charts? Again, what was the title of Elton John's duet with Kiki D that became his first #1 in the UK and the first to top both the UK and the US charts? All right, it starts now. Anyone? Hey, everyone in the room, how you doing? Stop in and say hi, play along. How you guys doing today? And 5, 4, 3, 2, anyone? Anyone? Okay, and it's Don't Go Breaking My Heart. Don't Go Breaking My Heart. Which 1977 album created for a film of the same name won Album of the Year at the Grammys and features several Bee Gees songs? Again, which 1977 album created for a film of the same name won Album of the Year at the Grammys and features several Bee Gees songs? And it starts now. Anyone? 1977. Wow, it was a long time ago. How old were you in 1977? Or were you even here in 1977? Let me know down in the chat. And Juan says Saturday Night Fever, and it is. Saturday Night Fever is the right answer. Good going. Fantastic. All right. Got some participation. Complete the missing lyrics from Elton John's Crocodile Rock. I remember when rock was young, me and blank had so much fun. Complete the missing lyric from Elton John's Crocodile Rock. I remember when rock was young, me and blank had so much fun. I almost gave it away. Anyone? Hi, Hutch. Hi, how you doing today? Thank you for coming by and participating. I appreciate you. I appreciate everyone that stopped by. All right, we got 4, 3. I love the emojis. And the answer is Susie. Me and Susie had so much fun. That was easy. All right, and onward. Which track on Carole King's 1971 album, Tapestry, had previously been a hit for Aretha Franklin in 1967? Wow. Despite the tune being written by King, was later covered. That's a long question. Let's do this again. That's a long question. Which track on Carole King's 1971 album, Tapestry, had previously been a hit for Aretha Franklin's in 1967, despite the tune being written by King, was later covered by Rod Stewart, Bonnie Tyler, Mary J. Blige, and Celine Dion. And it starts now. That was a long question, wasn't it? Does anybody know? Any guess? Just put it out there. Anyone? That was have no idea. And the answer is, you make me feel like a natural woman. You make me feel like a natural woman. All right, enough of that. All right, next question. First released on her album, Ladies of the Canyon, which song by Johnny Mitchell opens with the lyric, "They paved paradise and put up a parking lot"? Again, first released on her album, Ladies of the Canyon, which song by Joni Mitchell opens with the lyric, "They paved paradise and put up a parking lot"? Starts now. All right, anyone? Your guess is as good as mine. Anyone? We got 5, 4. And the answer is Big Yellow Taxi. Now, how did I forget that? Big Yellow Taxi. All right. Sure seems like a lot of questions already, but we got a lot more to go. And thank you everyone for joining in. Stop in and say hi. Don't be shy. Please put a like up this stream. And I appreciate everyone watching and being part of this 70s saga. And next question. The name of which punk rock band whose members all adopted the same surname, was inspired by a pseudonym used by Paul McCartney when checking into hotels? Again, the name of which punk rock band whose members all adopted the same surname was inspired by a pseudonym used by Paul McCartney when checking into hotels? And it starts. These are really hard questions. I have no idea. Anyone? Now, this was a long time ago, guys. So, anyone? Anyone know the answer? Obi-Wan? Bob? Eddie? And the answer is the Ramones. The Ramones is the answer. All right. Maybe this is a little, anyway, too much. Is it too much? Too much? Which 1973 song was written by Bob Marley contains the lyrics, "All around my hometown, they're trying to track me down"? Which 1973 song written by Bob Marley contains the lyrics, "All around my hometown, they're trying to track me down"? Oh my God, this is, now that I look at the answer, I'm like, oh my God, how did I forget that? And I'm no clues, guys, and please, no cheating. Anyone? They're trying to track me down. And the answer is, time's up. I shot the sheriff. I shot the sheriff. Which song by Harry Chapin, sorry, my eyes are a little funky today, so bear with me, guys. Which song by Harry Chapin begins with the line, "My child arrived just the other day," with lyrics describing a father-son relationship? I love this song. Again, which song by Harry Chapin begins with the line, "My child arrived just the other day," with lyrics describing a father-son relationship. Oh my God. And Obi-Wan says the cat's in the cradle. That's a great guess. Anyone else? Anyone else? Wow, we're not even through the blue ones yet. I better hurry it up. Put it on fast forward. And the answer is Cats in the Cradle. You got that. All right. Good guess. Good guess. All right. Which song covered by Debbie Boone in 1977 set a record for most consecutive weeks at the top of the Billboard Top 100, staying in that position for the 10 weeks in total? Again, which song covered by Debbie Boone in 1977 set a record for most consecutive weeks at the top of the Billboard's Top 100, staying in that position for 10 weeks in total? And it starts now. Anyone? Obi-Wan says, You Light Up My Life. Good guess. Anyone else? That's a really good guess. Wow. Good memory. Anyone else? And 3, 2, and 1. And the answer is You Light Up My Life. That's great. Obi-Wan got it correct. You Light Up My Life. Good guess. Which musician and former member of the famous Flames is often referred to as the Godfather of the Soul? Which musician and former member of the famous Flames is often referred to as the Godfather of Soul? These are pretty hard questions. Hey, it's all in fun. It's so good to see you guys. And it's probably the time of day, Obi. It's probably the time of day. It's all good. Anyone? Anyone? And the answer is James Brown. James Brown is the answer. What is the name of the band Paul McCartney went on to form with his wife Linda, which had a 1977 hit with the single Mull of Kintyre? Kintyre. Okay, what is the name of the band Paul McCartney went on to form with his wife Linda, which had a 1977 hit with the single Mull of Kintyre? Kintyre. Your guess is as good as mine. I tell you, I don't know any of these answers to these, so it's all, and Hutch says wings, and Juan says wigs. Wings and wigs. Okay. Good guess. Good guess. I have no idea. And the answer is wings. You're correct. The answer is wings. All right. Which Australian rock band's name was taken from an abbreviation they found on the sewing machine of the sister of the two founders? Again, which Australian rock band's name was taken from an abbreviation they found on the sewing machine of the sister of the two founders? I have not a clue. Anyone? I know these questions, but hey, it's all in fun. Oh my God, now that I see the answer, I'm like, gosh. Obi-Wan says AC/DC. Anyone else? Still got time. AC/DC. And he says, nope. AC/DC is the right answer. All right, Juan. AC/DC. We're almost through this. Got two more cards. Oh, yeah, I'll show you the answers. Two more cards, and we'll go on to the next one. We'll do television next. Which 1973 film whose score was nominated for an Academy Award is based on an Andrew Lloyd Webber musical of the same name and features the song I Don't Know How to Love Him? Which 1973 film whose score was nominated for an Academy Award is based on an Andrew Lloyd Webber musical of the same name and features the song I Don't Know How to Love Him. Oh my goodness. And Juan says, Jesus Christ Superstar. Good guess. Anyone else? Wow. Okay, you got six more seconds. He says, Jesus Christ Superstar. Hi, the source. Hi. He says, wow. And the answer is Jesus Christ Superstar. You got that right. How you doing? How you doing, the source? Nice to see you. We have one more card left from the music, and then we're on to TV. All right. Which album by Simon and Garfunkel became their final studio release together and the only album they released during the 1970s? Again, which album by Simon and Garfunkel became their final studio release together and the only album they released during the 1970s? And it starts now. Yes, I am having fun. I hope you guys are having fun too. Anybody know? And we got 12 seconds. And I can't give you any woohoo. Yes, woohoo. I'll see you over in your live later, the source. And the answer is Bridge Over Troubled Water. Bridge Over Troubled Water. Juan says, hi, the source. Okay, that was enough of that category. Remember, we have 2 more weeks, 3 weeks of the 70s saga. Same time, Saturday, 3:15. All right, now we're onward to, what I say, TV. TV. Make sure. Okay, the orange is television. And he says, Hutch, hey, hey. All right, you guys ready to start the TV one? That was a little hard. But that's what all it's about. We're learning together. We're having fun. Chilling out, it's a great Saturday. Let me know how the weather is where you guys are viewing from. And I really appreciate everyone coming in and joining in on the fun. All right, let's do this again. Now we have television. All right, what is the title of the historical oh my goodness. You got some rain? Okay, well, that's good for the flowers. I'm tired of the rain. What is the title of the historical Western series in Minnesota based on a series of books by Laura Ingalls Wilder, played on Little House on the Prairie, which aired from 1974 for almost a decade? If everybody was paying attention, you would have heard the answer. Again, what is the title of the historical Western series set in Minnesota based on a series of books by Laura Ingalls Wilder, which aired from 1974 for almost a decade? I'm sorry, my eyes are a little wonky, guys. And see you later, the source. I'll see you later. Anyone? Oh my God, I forgot to put the timer up. If you guys were listening, I gave it away in the question by accident. Hey, we all make mistakes, but the only thing is that this is live, so I can't do no redo. I can't do no do-over. Okay, and the answer is Little House on the Prairie. Little House on the Prairie. You guys didn't know that? Laura Ingalls? Come on now. All right. Anyway, onward. Set in the fictional department stores Grace Brothers, which British sitcom has a title which is also a question regularly asked by the characters in the show? Set in the fictional department store Grace Brothers, which British sitcom has a title which is also a question regularly asked by the characters in the show? Anyone? Ten seconds. 5, 4. Anyone? Anyone? And the answer is, are you being served? Are you being served? All right, I remember that show. Didn't know it was that old. Which U.S. president resigned in 1974, announcing his intention to do so in a speech which was broadcast live from the Oval Office? Again, which U.S. president resigned in 1974, announcing his intention to do so in a speech which was broadcast live from the Oval Office? 20 seconds. Anyone? Hey, just guess. It's all in fun. 1974 president announcing his intention to resign. Juan says Nixon. Hutch said Nixon. It is Richard Nixon. Richard Nixon is the right answer. Great. Fantastic. I had no clue. Anyway, which sport enjoyed a huge increase in popularity with UK television viewers in the 1970s after the introduction of color broadcasting, which made it much easier to keep track of the different bowls? Which sport enjoyed a huge increase in popularity with UK television viewers in the 1970s after the introduction of color broadcasting, which made it much easier to keep track of the different balls? Wow, I never heard of that game. Anyone? Any guess is good. Anyone? Hi, everyone in the room. Stop in and say hi. Don't be shy. Please like up the stream, share with your friends, co-workers, your buddies, the children, and the answer is snooker. The answer is snooker. That was a good guess, Juan. He said billiards or pool. What a good guess. It was snooker. Snooker. All right. Which British punk band in 1976 generated repeated... Hold up. Same thing. Okay. Which British punk band in 1976 generated huge controversy after swearing repeatedly live on air on the Today Show? Hi, Maria. How you doing? Nice to see ya. Again, which British punk band in 1976 generated huge controversy after swearing repeatedly live on air on the Today Show? And it starts now. Let me say hello to everyone. I don't speak Spanish. Hey, I just say hola and agua. That's all I know. Where are you from? Anyone? Anyone? We got 3, 2, 1. And the answer is the Sex Pistols. The Sex Pistols. How could I forget that? All right. Which show's narrative theme tune is accompanied by a little card that shows the fictional family members in a 3x3 grid, each with their own movie headshots? Again, which show's narrative, yes, theme tune is accompanied by a title card that shows the fictional family members in a 3x3 grid, each with their own moving headshot? Oh, wow, okay. No clue. Now that I see the answer, I'm like, oh my God. Anyone? 5, 4, 3, 2, and the answer is the Brady Bunch. The Brady Bunch. You put question marks with the sad face. What's wrong? Why the sad face? Turn that frown upside down. All right, you guys, you get tired of hearing my voice. All right, next question. In the 1978 animated series, The New Fantastic Four, what is the character of Ben Grimm better known as? In the 1978 animated series, The New Fantastic Four, what is the character of Ben Grimm better known as? And it starts now. These are pretty hard questions, aren't they? Especially if you weren't around in the 70s or the 80s. Shit, even the 90s. But this is fun. Is everyone having fun? Hi, everyone in the room. Thank you for coming by. I appreciate you. And the answer is The Thing. The Thing. Wow. That movie's that old. Holy manoli. Holy shit, time flies by. Hi, Jody. Hi. She says, I know, but my old brain can't remember. Hey, that's all good. It's very nice to see you. How you doing? How you doing? Thank you for joining in. All right. It's okay if we can't remember. We refresh our memory by doing trivia and joining me every Thursdays and Saturdays for trivia. She says, Crobber time? Crobber, what's a crobber? Okay, onward. Which London Underground station lends its name to a fictional bear who appeared in a stop-motion BBC series of the same name, which ran from 1976 until 1980. Wow, okay. Which London Underground station lends its name to a fictional bear who appeared in a stop-motion BBC series of the same name, which ran from 1976 to 1980? And it starts now. What does crobber time mean? Anyone? The bear. Remember the bear? Oh my God, he was so, wow. He was so cute. You guys remember the bear? And it is Paddington. Paddington the bear. Which Canadian city hosted the 1976 Summer Olympics, which had an audience of approximately 500 million TV viewers for its opening ceremony? Which Canadian city hosted the 1976 Summer Olympics, which had an audience of approximately 500 million TV viewers for an upcoming ceremony? And it starts. Juan says, hi, Jody. Does anyone know? Canadian city. Anyone? And the answer is Montreal. Montreal. Now, how did you guys forget that? Hi again, Jody. Oh, she's saying hi to Obi-Wan. All right, onward. Hello, everyone in the room. All right. Which actor whose movies include Matilda and Romancing the Stone plays the role of the dispatcher in Taxi? Again, which actor whose movies include Matilda and Romancing the Stone plays the role of the dispatcher in Taxi? Oh my God. Wish I could give you guys clues. And Jody says Danny DeVito. Good guess. Anyone else? Jody says Danny DeVito. And we have, wow, it's 7 seconds. This is a long 20 seconds today. And Juan says Danny DeVito. And the answer is Danny DeVito. You both got it right. Ding, 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 ding. Congratulations. All right. We don't need that yellow card. We're still on the orange card, which is television. Okay. Which crime-fighting show is home to the characters of Huggy Bear and Captain Harold Dobie? Again, which crime-fighting show is home to the characters of Huggy Bear and Captain Harold Dobie? Oh my goodness. Anyone? And Juan says Starsky and Hutch. We still have 6 seconds. 5, 4. Juan says Starsky and Hutch. And the answer is Starsky and Hutch. All right. Good guess. That's wonderful. Me, I have no clue. I'm just learning with you guys. Listening to myself. Okay. Which comedy show, which ran until 1974, is credited with inspiring the use of the term spam for unwanted electronic communications? I'll repeat the question. Which comedy show, which ran until 1974, is credited with inspiring the use of the term spam for unwanted electronic communication? Wow. Anyone? Maybe I should go like next time after this saga, the 70s saga is over. Maybe I should do like the 90s. If you guys want me to do that after this saga's over for the 3 weeks, let me know down in the chat or in the comments after this live is done. And the answer is Monty Python's Flying Circle. Monty Python's Flying Circle. I think the 90s might be a little easier. Hey, but that's great. I loved it. The 70s were great, Back later in the 70s, I don't know what happened early in the 70s. Hi, Jeffrey. How you doing? Jeffrey says, hello, everyone. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. The theme song of which TV show features the lyrics, "Make a hawk a dove, stop a war with love"? Again, the theme song of which TV show features the lyrics, "Make a hawk a dove, stop a war with love"? I'm glad you're doing great. Nice to see you again. Jody says MASH. And we have 9 seconds. Jody says MASH. Anyone else? I'm so glad to see you, Jody. And the answer is Making Our Dreams Come True. Making Our Dreams Come True. Okay. And next question. Which U.S. game show first debuted in its modern form in 1972 and was then presented by Bob Barker for the next 35 years? Which U.S. game show first debuted in its modern form in 1972 and was then presented by Bob Barker for the next 35 years? Oh my God, this is easy, guys. Anyone Bob Barker? Come on. Hi, Debbie. How you doing? Wow, welcome. Welcome. Haven't seen you here before. Welcome. Nice to have you. We got 2 seconds. 1 second. Debbie says the price is right. Obi-Wan says the price is right. Jody says she can't spell it. And the answer is the price is right. All right. Yes. Good guess. Good. All right. Jody says I can't spell it. Laugh out loud. That's okay. Okay, we have 2 more of the orange cards, and then we're going to be going to the movies. It's okay if you were wrong. That's all right. It's all fun. Don't worry about it. It's okay, hon. Next question. First aired in 1976, which game show featured families trying to guess the answers to survey questions that have been asked to 100 people? First aired in 1976, which game show features families trying to guess the answers to survey questions that have been asked to 100 people? And Juan says Family Feud. More. And then onward. This cup looks huge, but it's really not that big. Anyone? Okay, Obi-Wan says Family Feud. Jody says Family Feud. And the answer is Family Feud, or Family Fortunes in the UK version. All right. Oh, I can't wait till next week. So this is going to be in 3 parts this week, and then, of course, 2 other weeks every Saturday to finish the 70s saga. Thank you, everyone, for joining me and hanging out. I'm having a lot of fun. You guys having a lot of fun? Put 1 in the chat if you are. And if not, that's okay. The cartoon series Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? Sees the protagonist driving around in a brightly colored van. But what is the name of that van? Again, the cartoon series Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? I just put the Scooby-Doo. Sees the protagonist, correct me if I'm wrong, driving around in a brightly colored van. But what is the name of that van? Wow. You guys paying attention back then? And Juan says Mystery Machine. And Jody says, I love that show. I know, I love it too. Hi, 5Gs. How you doing? Okay, time's up, and the correct answer is the Mystery Machine. Juan got it right. All right, guys. Woo! Okay, we went through the blue, which was music, and now we went through the television. All right, let's do yellow, the movies. Oh my goodness. Or do you guys want to do technology first before the movies? Let's do, we'll save the technology for last. I mean, the 70s technology, oh my goodness. Yeah, we'll save that for last. Like I said, tune in next 2 Saturdays, same time, 3:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the 70s saga, so we can finish these great questions. I got a lot more trivia in mind, and I hope to see you guys. This is going to be so much fun. 5G says, hello, chat. Thank you for joining us, 5Gs. I stopped in your live earlier today. Great scenery. Nice to have you here. Thank you. 70s technology remote control. Well, I don't know. That's in the questions. We're not there yet. We're doing movies now. Let me shuffle them up a little bit. Like I said, I don't know any of the answers to these questions. So you guys, I'm learning with you and having fun. Right. Now, what was the name of Jodie Foster's character in Taxi Driver? What was the name of Jodie Foster's character in Taxi Driver? Juan 5G says hello. Does anyone know that? Her name? What her name was? Here to learn. Hey, that's all good. So am I. And the answer is Iris. Iris was Jodie Foster's character name in Taxi Driver. And he says, wow. Juan says, wow. 5G said hello, Juan. Which 1976 movie tells the story of a shy girl unleashing her telekinetic powers on her school, having been humiliated at her senior prom? This is an easy one, guys. Sorry, there's something in my eye. Again, which 1976 movie tells the story of a shy girl unleashing her telekinetic powers on her school, having been humiliated at her senior prom? Ooh. Jody says Carrie. Juan says Carrie. He says, wow, wow. Wow. All right, we got 6 seconds. Everyone says Carrie. What do you guys think it is? It is Carrie. Ding, ding, ding. Yep, you both got it right. Good guess. Good guess. I think I need to take like a second break. Cheers. Even though there's really nothing in it. All right. Okay. Which Gene Wilder character first appears in a 1971 movie limping along with a walking stick before unexpectedly tumbling into a somersault? Let's do that again. Which Gene Wilder character first appears in a 1971 movie limping along with a walking stick before unexpectedly tumbling into a somersault? Oh my goodness. This is easy. Well, it's easy now that I see the answer. It's really not that easy. But, oh my God, this was a really good movie. Had the Oompa Loompas. Give you guys a clue. Oompa Loompas. And 2, 1, and the answer is Willy Wonka. Willy Wonka, the chocolate factory with the little, the Oompa Loompas. Remember them? Oompa Loompa doobity-doo. Mm-hmm. The correct answer was Willy Wonka, Juan. What deadly game as Robert De Niro and Christopher Walken made to play in The Deer Hunter? What deadly game are Robert De Niro and Christopher Walken made to play in The Deer Hunter? What do you think it could be? 5G says, awesome job. Yes, awesome. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for being here and participating. This is cool. He says, Obi-Wan says Russian roulette. And the answer is Russian roulette. Yes, good guess. Good guess. All right. Okay, let me get all this. This is fun, isn't it, guys? All right. Which actor did not collect his own Oscar in 1973, but sent civil rights activist, oh my God, Shasheen Littlefeather to do so instead in a protest against Hollywood's portrayal of Native Americans? Let's read that again. Which actor did not collect his own Oscar in 1973, but sent civil rights activist Shasheen, Scheen, I think that's how you pronounce it, I don't want to butcher his name, Littlefeather, to do so instead in a protest against Hollywood's portrayal of Native Americans? And the And I'll start, I can tell you the answer. I can see his face. You can see his face. You know the answer. You can see his face. No, that's not the answer. Juan says, for Godfather. And Jody says, I can't see his face. Juan says Marlon Brando. And the answer is Marlon Brando. Great guess, Marlon Brando. Great guess. God, what a great actor. All right, this is great going back in time, isn't it? A little too bad. What is Sonny Hooper's job in the Burt Reynolds movie Hooper that acts as a tribute to that profession? What is Sonny Hooper's job in the Burt Reynolds movie Hooper that acts as a tribute to that profession? Anyone? Thank you for the hearts, everyone. Thank you. Please like up the stream, share with your friends and your coworkers and your buddies, pals. Stop in and say hello, play along, and the answer is Stuntman. Stuntman. Juan got it right. Good guess. That's wonderful. All right. Which Bruce Lee film was released first? The Way of the Dragon or Enter the Dragon? Which Bruce Lee film was released first? The Way of the Dragon or Enter the Dragon? I have no clue. Maybe you guys... Jody says Enter. Good guess. Good guess. We got 9 more seconds. 8. Well, I've been on here 52 minutes. All right, The Way. Obi-Wan says The Way, and Jody says Enter. And the answer is The Way of the Dragon was made in 1972, with Enter the Dragon, Bruce Lee's final film, following in 1973. Great guess. Great guess. And Jody got it right? Enter. Oh, Enter was, okay, the first one, The Way. Yes, Obi-Wan got it, though. And then it was Enter. All right, great guesses, guys. How many different actors played the role of James Bond in the movies during the 1970s? How many different actors played the role of James Bond in the movies during the 1970s? Talking so much, I just got a little bit of cotton mouth. It's 1, 2. Jody says 1. Obi says 2. I don't know if I put the... And the answer is 2. Sean Connery and Roger Moore. 2 is the correct answer. Good guess. All right. Good answer, 2. Good guess. All right. Woohoo. All right. Let me take a break. Sorry about my eyes. How do you guys like what I got going on behind me? Is it too much? All right. I don't want to live in a city where the only cultural advantage is that you can make a right turn on a red light. Is a quote from which romantic movie? Okay, let's read that again. I don't want to live in a city where this only cultural advantage is when you can make a right turn on a red light. Is a quote from which romantic movie? Thank you, 5G. She says, nice backdrop. Thank you. Just saying hi to everyone. Hi. Again. Thank you for sticking with me all this time, guys. 54 minutes. You guys are the best. Thank you. Hope you're having fun. And time is up, and the answer is Annie Hall. Annie Hall is the answer. Next question. In which country does dystopian road movie Mad Max take place? In which country does this dystopian, I don't want to mispronounce it, road movie Mad Max takes place? A-hole? No, it's not a-hole. It's Mad Max takes place, and he says Australia. Obi-Wan says Australia. We have 4 seconds. And the answer is Australia. Good guess. Great answer. Australia. Okay. Who was nominated for both Best Director and Best Actor at the 1977 Oscars, but ended up winning but ended up winning only one of the 2 awards? Who was nominated for both Best Director and Best Actor at the 1977 Oscars, but ended up winning only one of the 2 awards? I have no clue. Want me to give you a hint? Nah. Mia. That's a hint. But then anyway. And the answer is Woody Allen. Woody Allen is the answer. All right, I've got 7 more cards left in here. What's the question mark? Which Motown singer won the 1973 Golden Globe for Most Promising Newcomer in her role at Billie Holiday in Lady Sings the Blues? Which Motown singer won the 1973 Golden Globe for Most Promising Newcomer in her role as Billie Holiday in Lady Sings the Blues? Jody says Tina Turner. Good guess, good guess. Anyone else? Jody says Tina Turner. And Juan says Diana Ross. It's Diana Ross or Tina Turner, and the correct answer is Diana Ross. Diana Ross. Both great singers. Both great, beautiful singers. What is the name of the school attending by both Danny and Sandy in Greece? What is the name of the school attended by both Danny and Sandy in Greece? Anyone? The school in Greece. Hi, Lorianne. How you doing? Hi. Happy Saturday. Juan says Rydell High. And the answer is Rydell High. Rydell High is the correct answer. Thank you for joining us, Lori. Which movie out of Jaws, Jaws 2, and the 1976 King Kong made the most money at the worldwide box office? Again, which movie out of Jaws, Jaws 2, and the 1976 King Kong made the most money at the worldwide box office? King Kong, Jaws 2, or Jaws? Why didn't they just ask that instead of make it plain and simple, right? King Kong, 1976. Lori says. Jody says, Jaws. Thank you. Thank you. And the answer is Jaws. Jaws is the right answer. It's the right answer, Jaws. Thank you. You like the mug, isn't that? It looks huge. It's really, maybe it is really that big, but it looks huge. Thank you. All right. Thank you guys for sticking with me all this time. I appreciate every single one of you. Please put a like up. It's good for the algorithm. And please share with your friends and your coworkers and your family. And she says, oops. Why's oops? Oh, it's okay. And your head wrap. Thank you. Thank you. Figures for the occasion, you know, look the part, have some fun, and your head. Aw, thank you. All right, onward. Which actress, the daughter of actress Debbie Reynolds, played the role of Princess Leia? Which actress, the daughter of actress Debbie Reynolds, played the role of Princess Leia? And it starts now. Anyone? We're almost done. You guys are great hanging with me all this time. My eyes are about getting a little tired. I don't know, but love that movie. And oh yeah. Carrie Fisher is the answer. Carrie Fisher is the answer. That was a good movie. And Carrie Fisher is the answer. All right, 3 more, guys, and then we got technology, which is only like 8 cards or 9 cards, so not too bad. Han Solo owes money to which gangster? Not seen on screen in the original release of Star Wars, but later added digitally to subsequent re-releases. Oh my God, let's do that again. Han Solo owes money to which gangster? Not seen on screen in the original release of Star Wars, but later added digitally to subsequent re-releases. Oh my goodness, that's a word salad right there. Jabba the Hutt. Wow, that was a good guess. All right. Anybody else? Jabba the Hutt? I had no clue. Never. It was hard getting through that question. A lot going on over there. Jody says Jabba. Be right back, I think. Okay, well, nice seeing you, Lori. And the answer is Jabba the Hutt. Jabba the Hutt. All right, you guys know your shit, man. That's great. All right, here we go. 2 more questions in this category. Which writer, director went on holiday to Hawaii with Steven Spielberg rather than attend the premiere of his own 1977 movie? So convinced was he that it would be a failure. Again, which writer/director went on holiday to Hawaii with Steven Spielberg rather than attend the premiere of his own 1977 movie? So convinced was he that it would be a failure. That would be like no clue for me. Anyone? My lips get so dry. I'm talking so much. George Lucas. Well, it says George Lucas, and the answer is George Lucas for Star Wars. George Lucas is the answer. All right, last card, of this, and then we have the technology, but there's only like 8 questions or 9 questions. For his leading role, in which movie did Robert De Niro spend 3 months learning to play the saxophone. For his leading role in which movie did Robert De Niro spend 3 months learning to play the saxophone? I said saxophone, but it's saxophone, and it starts now. Anyone? 10 seconds. Oh, sorry about that. And the answer is New York, New York. All right, that was great, guys. Okay, we have 9 more questions, I think. Yep, 9 more questions. You guys are great. Thank you for hanging with me. All right. And this is technology. Remember, this is from the 70s. This is going to be interesting. Which sport, which has been part of the Summer Olympics since 1988, inspired the name of the 1972 arcade game Pong? Which sport, which has been part of the Summer Olympics since 1988, inspired the name of the 1972 arcade game Pong? Oh my God. I am so sorry. Why does it do that? And Jody says tennis. Anyone else? And the answer is table tennis. Table tennis was the answer. Good guess, Jody. Which large U.S. company released the TI-99/4 in 1979, notable for being the first 16-bit home computer? Okay, which large U.S. company released the TI-99/4 in 1979, notable for being the first 16-bit home computer? Have no idea. It's fun learning, though. I don't know if I would ever need to learn and need to know this, but hey, it's all part of the game. It's all part of the fun. Anyone? Anyone? And 2, 1, time's up. Texas Instruments. Texas Instruments. I've never heard of them. Have you guys? All right, onward. What superlative name was given to the Intertex 1979's home computer, featuring a curved all-in-one injection molded case? What superlative name was given to Intertex 1979 home computer featuring a curved all-in-one ejection molded case? You know what? I totally do not know. Wow. Anyone guess? Put the weather down or no? And 4, 1, and the answer is Superbrain. Superbrain. How could I forgot? Never heard of it. Oh, sorry. Apple. That was a good guess. It was Superbrain. I guess that was the name. It says the name of the... Okay. I had no clue. Never heard of them. Okay. In 1976, how many units did Steve Wozniak sell of the first Apple computer known as the Apple I? In 1976, how many units did Steve Wozniak sell of the first Apple computer, known as the Apple I? A, 200, B, 2,000, or C, 20,000? A, 200, B, 2,000, or C, 20,000? Obi-Wan said 10,000. No, it's 200, 2,000, or 20,000. Anyone? Good guess? Okay, and the answer is 200. 200. Oh my goodness. All right. This seems like it's like dragging on with the technology, but we're going to go through it. We're going to work right through it, and you guys are right with me. Thank you so much. In the original arcade releases of Space Invaders, what two colors of cellophane were added to the screen to make the black and white graphics more colorful? In the original arcade releases of Space Invaders, what two colors of cellophane were added to the screen to make the black and white graphics more colorful? If you're into graphic design. Anyone? Anyone? Wow, it's so long, 20 seconds today. He says, holy crap. I know. Think about 100 years later, we ask these questions. And it's green and orange. Green and orange. How did I forget that one? Released in 1978, what was the name of the first commercially available optic video disc system? A precursor to the later DVD and Blu-ray discs. Released in 1978, what was the name of the first commercially available optical video disc system? A precursor to later DVD and Blu-ray discs. Red and blue. Obi-Wan says red and blue. Oh, that was to the other. Yeah, it was green and orange. Last question. And Obi says laser disc. And he went 2, 1. And it is laser disc. Laser disc is the answer. Good going. Game developer Tomohiro Nishikado, Nishikado, created Space Invaders for which Japanese arcade manufacturer? Game developer, I don't want to butcher the name, Tomohiro Nishikado, created Space Invaders for which Japanese arcade manufacturer? I have no clue. Anyone? Just a guess. Atari, good guess. Okay, anyone? One says Atari, and it's Taito, Taito. I have no idea. Taito. It was an arcade manufacturer. Okay. All right. Which well-known U.S. toy manufacturer released the Intellivision console in 1979, considered the world's first 16-bit game console? Which well-known U.S. toy manufacturer released the Intellivision console in 1979, considered the world's first 16-bit game console. After this, we have one more question, guys. All right. Anyone? We have 3, 2, 1, and the answer is Mattel. Mattel. Right, we got one more card left. Thank you so much for coming by and joining in on the fun on the 60 question trivia challenge. Tune in next Saturday and the Saturday after that, same time, 3:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for this 70s saga. We'll get through it together, guys. I don't know about the technology. Got one more card, though. Thank you for staying till the end. I appreciate every single one of you. Last question. In technology, Clive Sinclair created which hugely successful electronic product in 1972, selling over 100,000 a month at the peak of its success? Clive Sinclair, created which hugely successful electronic product in 1972, selling over 100,000 a month at the peak of its success? And the last 20 seconds. Oh my goodness. Oh, I remembered those. Wow. I don't know about the year. The year I don't remember, but I remember the answer. And the answer is a pocket calculator. A pocket calculator. Oh my God, I remember having one of those. Later, like in the early 80s and stuff. Oh my goodness. All right. Well, that was fun. And you guys are the best. Whew. Wow. My brain is about shot. Okay. You guys are the best. Thank you so much for joining in on the fun. You guys are awesome. I appreciate every single one of you. And you guys take care of yourself and each others. Stay tuned. See you soon. Bye.